The date is June 18th, 2015. My name is Eric Hurtado, and the interviewee is my mother, Maricela G. Tolentino. And let's begin with the questions. What type of life did you have in Mexico, and were you happy with it?
Well, yeah, it was a tough life, but I was working. I was happy because I was working. But the life at home with my parents, it was not that happy because they were so strict. They didn't let me go out any place, just to work and to the house, from the house to work. That's it.
Were you ever angry with your parents because of this?
Yes, I talked to him so many times, but they did not understand because the culture over there is like that. So they said that I supposed to be doing what they want, and it doesn't matter my feelings or what I wanted to do. I needed to follow rules to respect them.
How did you feel about your siblings not doing as much work as you did?
Of course, I was angry, frustrated many times because as an older sibling, they always expect me to do all the chores, give an example to them, and help them with the homework, and yeah, make sure that they have homeworks and food and everything.
All right. What made you decide to come to the U.S.?
Well, I married your dad, and I just wanted to kind of be far away from my family. I even told my mom, since they did not let me do anything, I told them that I was going to be living far away sometime. I always tell them that.
Was there a final pushing point, like a specific thing that pushed you here? That was the main reason for you coming here? That just beat all other reasons and just made you want to come here?
No, in general, I just wanted to kind of live far away because in Mexico, in the place that we are living, basically all the family is living in the street. So if I talk to a person or not, they always check on me, and they were so strict, so I cannot talk to many people. I cannot go out and do anything at that point. So it was better kind of live somewhere else. It didn't matter maybe I was thinking living up north in Mexico or in another country. At that point, it doesn't matter. It was just somewhere else far away.
How did it feel to first meet my father when at school?
Pardon me?
Did you love my father? Did you like him? Did you think he was cute? Or did you enjoy spending time with him in Mexico when you first met him?
I didn't really spend time in Mexico with him. I know him because he was renting in the street I was living at with my mom and my dad. So he came here to the United States first. So for me, it was kind of get away from my parents. Basically, that was my main goal: get away from my parents. And I came on vacations here because I was working. I came on vacations against my parents because they didn't want me to come. And when I asked questions about him, everybody was telling me he was a good person. Of course, it was friends and family who answered those questions for me. And they tell me different things afterwards.
Okay, more on when you left Mexico. I forgot to ask, did you miss home at all?
Yes, I did, so much. The first step that I put here in the United States, it was the impression that I have at that time, it was like the people here in the United States, they don't have feelings. For me, it was my impression. Back home, even though they are really strict, it's like they care about you. Maybe that's what they're strict. They are more friendly. And over here, it's like they barely talk to you in a certain way. And it seems like they don't have feelings for you. And like, I didn't really like the first impression about here.
Since you were greatly focused on not staying home and just getting away from that, did you ever think about bad things like drugs?
No, I never thought about that. My parents, they never smoke or drink. So when I was feeling frustrated because of those things, I love to exercise. So instead of being drinking or smoking, I always think on exercising. Maybe that's why one of the reasons I was thin by then. I was so skinny.
To continue on the previous answer you gave about the truth about my father, after you found out the truth about him, did you want to abandon your life here and move back to Mexico?
Yes, I thought about it. I wanted to go back, but at the same time, my mother always saying that if I marry, I will never go back or get a divorce. So I was thinking that in my head is the type of culture that they are teaching us back then. So it was really tough when I tried to talk to my mother that it was different of what I expected. She didn't listen to me, and she said that now I needed to stay in that relationship forever. So it was hard.
Apart from the lies part of the whole situation, was there anything else that made you not like him?
It was a totally opposite of what I expected. And yeah, the friends and family told me the truth afterwards, and they said that if they tell me the truth, I will never marry him, which it was going to be true. If I knew the truth before, I would never do it. And then after that, talk to him, but he is the type that he wants us to do what he wants, and it doesn't matter if it's wrong. He just he wants to be listened and do what he wants all the time. And me being like a child, even though I was working too. Another thing that I really hate is that I was single before I married him, and I have my money. So I came here. That's another reason I was not able to go back, because he took all my money, all my savings that I bring here, he took it away. That makes me mad. When I save money after I got Nancy, that was the first child, I make a pinky bunch, he always take the money away from me. He always trying to make me don't have money even though I was working. Controlling. That one of the things that I hate about him. He was controlling.
Have you ever had a desire for some other parental figure in our lives, or just to help you out and be there with you through hard times, or just with finance, or both?
Sometimes I think that it will be easier, especially when you guys were little, that I need the help. I asked my mom at that time if she could come over here, and instead of paying babysitter for you guys, just paying her. But she didn't really like it here either, so she just came for a couple of weeks and left. So I was thinking that it was gonna be easier having some kind of support, not even though it wasn't every day, but once in a while. But after I came through all that, and you guys grow up, now I think like now it's easier. But yes, if you have somebody, of course, will be easier. but at the same time, like having another person is really hard because of my kids.
With your situation in Mexico, did you ever want, like, feel the need to come here illegally? Or were you okay with going here through passports? Or legal?
I never thought about coming over here illegally. I have a passport. As I said, we were so poor, but we like to work. And we were having 2 jobs over there, and I always helped my parents. So I was working and studying. So I had my own money, and I have my passport, and I have money to travel too sometimes. But yes, in the beginning it was hard. But we grow up, and those hard times make us to try to succeed and to work hard. So I didn't come over here because I have no money or no food or for nothing else.
You used to tell me that your situation in Mexico, like, you had a better life there if you would have stayed. So, do you did you ever want to go back just because life would have been easier than here?
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, yes, I wanted to go back so bad because it's not that I had a bad life there. Actually, over there back home, I had my own room. We have our house. As I said in the beginning, it was hard, but then, we worked hard, all my parents and myself, and we were having a better life. And we had a better house at that point. So when I came here it was worse. And here I didn't have so many things. Plus the language, I didn't know the language, so it was really hard.
More on your childhood, what was the hardest part of your childhood or growing up?
When I was growing up, many times my parents, they didn't have enough time and money because they're trying to work. So because they don't have a car, so they needed to go far away. So my father didn't really spend time with us. And the hard part is that many times we were sick and they don't have enough money. Where they were working, it was like low pay. At school, we have only 1 pair of shoes, 1 pair of tennis shoes, and 2 uniforms. One we wash it by hand. The other one, is the one that you're using for that day because we put it to hang to get dry. So it was hard. Like if it's raining, our uniforms were wet, so we needed to iron. If we have no electricity, we need to make like putting wood together, and with the irons that we using at that time, it was just like a metal, and it was hard. So all those situations, we wanted to have so many things that we couldn't afford. So,
who has been the biggest influence in your life?
Which before or after married, or
both of them? Both answers.
Before, I just wanted to succeed because I see my parents struggling with life and to take care of us. So I wanted to be better. So I wanted to study something. So they were like my influence to like get better. Plus the situation I was living. Then after I got married, and then when I got divorced too, my biggest push up, it was you guys, my kids. I see them and I say, okay, I don't want this kind of life for my kids. I want them to be better, and in order to be better, I need to do something for myself. So we'll be like example for them, and then and it's for me to be better.
Out of all of the things that happened to you and in your life, what meaning or lesson did you get out of it? Out of all that you experienced?